Hey guys, what a show we had for you today. We spoke with the crew from Decisive Zone about golden visas, female entrepreneurship, which we love. We also spoke about the top stories in the UAE today. The UAE condemns Israel for targeting Rafah refugee camps. We also spoke about this man who will not tip at expensive restaurants.
And so do not forget to subscribe to the Lovin Dubai Show podcast if you haven't already, wherever you get your podcast from. And as always, don't forget to enjoy the show.
Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to Lovin Dubai Show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story today, the UAE condemns Israel for targeting Rafah refugee tents.
As well, UAE ranks second globally for longest working hours.
Why this well-known entrepreneur will never tip at expensive restaurants.
As well, the famous chocolate bars taking the internet by storm.
Later on in the show, we're talking all about empowering female entrepreneurs. Insights from Mr. Golden Visa and Juliana, who's co-founder of Decisive Zone.
As well, of course, it's 234 days since the genocide began on October 7 in Gaza. The current death toll stands at 36,050. The number of injured people is 81,026, and 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
In today's weather, it's sunny out. No surprises there. Highs of 38 degrees Celsius. Humidity is at 43%. This is your PSA to drink 2 litres of water today. Let's jump into our top story. The UAE has condemned Israel for targeting Rafah refugee tents. The United Arab Emirates has condemned in the strongest terms and denounced the ongoing Israeli violations in the Gaza Strip and the most recent targeting of refugee tents, which resulted in dozens of deaths and injuries to innocent civilians.
In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs underscored the importance of reaching an immediate ceasefire, providing protection for civilians and preventing further loss of life.
In this regard, the UAE stressed the importance of adhering to the measures stipulated in the recent decision issued by the International Court of Justice, demanding Israel immediately halt military operations in Rafah, government, and the exacerbation of the catastrophic humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip, as well as the necessity of keeping the Rafah crossing open for the widespread distribution of humanitarian aid.
The ministry called on the international community to intensify efforts to halt escalation in all the regions of the occupied Palestinian territory and to alleviate the extremely critical and deepening humanitarian and catastrophe faced by civilians in Gaza due to continuous Israeli aggression, and the significance of ensuring the arrival of humanitarian and relief aid urgently, of course sustainably and without, of course, impediment to the Gaza Strip.
This news, of course, follows the death of at least 50 people following an Israeli strike on Rafah, with many people still accounted for, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. In a statement on Monday, ambulance and civil defence crews cannot reach the victims, the statement noted.
As well, locally, prominent UAE personalities are using their platforms to raise awareness about the horrific situation. For example, Karen Wazan posted an update saying, "We cannot be normal, enough is enough."
Along with that, entrepreneur Anas Boukash said, "May God help you, people of Rafah and Gaza. I can't unsee these horrific, inhumane scenes. We can only imagine what these families, children, elderly, and all Palestinians are going through. When will this stop?" And we know that these sentiments we are fully echoed, and we can only hope that humanity will prevail and the gross, inhumane atrocities will stop. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Gaza.
Of course.
We're going to jump in to our next story that's grabbing headlines. It's talking about whether or not we are hard workers in the UAE, which I believe we know that we are.
So UAE ranks second globally for longest working hours. Professionals in the UAE are the second hardest working in the world, of course, according to data from the International Labour Organization, with an average work week of 50.9 hours, trailing behind Bhutan, where professionals work an average of 54.4 hours a week.
It must be said, the survey noted that residents prioritise out-of-home entertainment, according to the report by Duke and Mur UAE, with over 97% of people engaging in leisure activities and popular forms of entertainment, including watching movies, live sports at home, dining out, and playing sports and video games.
as well in recent findings that revealed that the average person in the UAE spends over 8 hours online daily, with gaming accounting for half of time. Dining out remains, of course, a favorite activity, with 7 out of 10 residents dining out every week.
Interesting. I just want to. Okay, interesting on that in terms of hours worked. I think it's worth noting that like people come to the UAE as a land of opportunity, and then I think it's no surprise that there's hard work, and I think that the hard work can pay off. I think that people know that you can have blessings here, there's opportunities, and therefore you work hard and you can eventually make your fortune. And I think it's no surprise that we work hard, but we do.
I agree, and if you remember, I once said it on the show that my dad always tells me that Dubai is, or the UAE as a whole, is the country that if you give it, you will get back. You know what I mean? Like there is no way that if you are going to be working in Dubai and actually having like a plan and working really hard, that you're not going to be finding, let's say, Dubai or the UAE actually giving you back in all ways.
But it is interesting, again, to see that because we are working so hard, and the money that we're earning, it looks like it's going directly back into the economy, and as soon as it comes in, it's going out because we're spending it on restaurants, on dining, on movies, on eating out. So whether or not we're actually saving is a question that remains to be seen. Thank you, Massa. I think we're having some mic issues.
Yeah.
So that is a question that remains to be seen. Like, are you saving your cash? Are you spending it? You're working hard, but it also looks like we're playing hard, and we're in the city full of activities and temptations, I would say. So actually making those savings gains isn't as easy as it might seem. However, that brings us into our next story of this entrepreneur is making savings, that is for sure.
Of course, we all the time talk about tipping, but why Dubai entrepreneur Ahmed bin Shaiba will never tip at expensive restaurants? So Ahmed bin Shaiba, CEO of Aquafun, said he'd rather tip at small restaurants than larger ones that are overcharging for their food.
The video was shared on TikTok, and the comments are divided, as some agreed with his point of view, while others thought the tips go directly to the servers and waiters as a gesture of appreciation. So it's, yes, restaurants are pricey, but surely the service team needs to be, and I'd love to get it, we've had Ahmed on the show before. He's incredibly strong in his viewpoint, so he's a great guest, of course, to have. And, in this regard, I'd love to get his thoughts on it, because I think that yes, the restaurant is expensive, but you choose the expensive restaurant. You choose that prominent location where overheads are really high, and you're also paying for a service team that have probably gone through a strict training program, as opposed to if you go, somewhere that isn't expensive. Yeah. So you're paying for that, and then therefore you have to acknowledge that and tip. Except the thing is, a 10% tip on a 100 dirham meal versus a 10% tip on a 1,000 dirham meal is quite significant difference.
Look, I remember you need to first of all make sure, are the tips going to the waiters and the people who served you? Because I remember once I've watched a show called, I don't know, it was for Gordon Ramsay, where he figured out that the restaurant owner does not give the tips for the waiters. However, he takes them and then divides them amongst, everyone who's working.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what was the show. It's called Kitchen Nightmares.
But I think that's common practice, because you as a human are thanking this person who comes with a smile on your face, and you have a nice human conversation, so you're thanking them. However, why is this person able to operate so efficiently? Because all of the team behind him are working in unison. So you're tipping for great service, but it's not just the person who's putting the food on the table, and also the chefs, the bus boys, the people who plate the food, the host at the door. I think it's fair that everyone in the restaurant deserves the tip, because it's a service industry, and the time it takes to get the food to your plate from when you plate the order, that's not on the person who's having a conversation with you. That's the whole system. So I actually think it's fair that if you tip for your coffee, you're not just tipping the person you've had a chat to, you're tipping the team.
All right, I get it, but I remember very specifically that Gordon Ramsay got so angry, and he's like, "Why I'm tipping? I want to tip the lady who served me. I remember he got so angry, and towards the end, of course, like the restaurant has shut down. But of course, I mean, I used to be kind of like very like I don't know, food crazy, but I don't know, but I do understand where he's coming from, because like if you are paying that much for food, like 1,000 dirhams, you know, you probably would be like, oh yeah, but they are of course implementing these service charges. You know what I mean?
Well, if there's a service charge on the bill, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
And I nearly think we have so many conversations about tipping, and because we come from such a wide variety of countries and everyone has tipping cultures, it would actually be easier if there was service charge included and it was quite clear on the bill, so you're not doubling the cash. But I think that it doesn't matter if you're, you know, in a cheap restaurant, budget friendly, or pricey and expensive. I think the service industry is the service industry, and in that case, it should be the same amount.
But I do see his point why he would rather tip at a small restaurant consisting of like, let's say like it's a family business of like 4 individuals, because they really are working hard to get their restaurant, you know, up to.
But that's the restaurant. That's the money into the owner's pocket, like the restaurant. Like, but the service industry is the person who's not well paid. It doesn't matter if they're in a high end or a low end, and they're going. It's the same job. It's the same job. You're speaking to people. It doesn't matter if it's in a high end or low end. And the reality is, I don't think I don't know actually.
I don't know honestly, but if I mean I do get his point. However, I agree with you as well on a point. Like if they actually would implement a service charge on the bill, it would be much easier, you know, because like sometimes like you go like, oh yeah, I don't know how much should I tip. I don't know what should I put.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you are thinking, oh my god, yeah, but I don't want them to think that I'm rude, and I don't want them to think that, you know what I mean? It gets like kind of confusing, and you get into this dilemma between you and yourself, and you think
I always just go, I think math-wise, 10% for dining out.
Okay.
Is a fair, and it's also easy on the math. No, but then it's easy because then it's like, because if someone said like 5% or 20%, I'd sit there with brain melt, wouldn't be able to figure it out. But 10%. But I know some countries do 20. If it's really great, go above it. But that's kind of how I would always do it, 10%.
I think honestly, I all the time like put a good amount of tip to people who serve me, whether it's just like doing my nails or they're just like, I don't know, serve me food, or I'm at a restaurant. But there's still this dilemma, like, I don't know, am I tipping not enough, or am I doing it enough? You know, it's like this dilemma. Like,
yeah, you have that personal thing.
So just like put it on your bill and just make our lives easier and your lives easier, and it's going to be easier on everyone, and no one's going to be leaving not happy.
It's 8:45. We're going to jump into our guest segment. We're super excited to talk about all things visas and also female entrepreneurship. If you're starting a company in the UAE, if you've been inspired by the many great leaders before us, how do you get the stepping stones to start your business? We're going to have the team from Decisive Zone in here to answer. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today he is back in the hot seat. Mr. Golden Visa returns to explain all things Golden Visa and to answer any of all of your visa questions. We're also joined by Juliana here, who is co-founder of Decisive Zone and her own jewellery brand. Today we'll be dropping an exclusive offer for Lovin Dubai listeners, so do stay tuned. Welcome both to the show. So excited to have you on.
Thank you.
So today, and we kind of led into this earlier on, we're talking about golden visas, but also inspiring female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship journeys and packages to help them get set up. So first of all, there's a female entrepreneurship package related to visas. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Sure. There are two packages actually. One is at 500 dirhams per month. So this one is for women that already live in Dubai and have the visa, but they want to start their company. So we are offering this package for them. And the second one is the 999 dirhams per month. This one includes the visa and the license for the company.
Okay, wow. So that number already screams to me. We get so many inspired people talking about amazing business journeys. So 900 dirham gets your company visa,
your medical, your ID, yes.
Okay, so
you get complete setup for 999 dirham. You set up your business, you get your visa, Emirates ID, medical, change of status, all-inclusive package. This is not available anywhere else.
No, this is only
by
from
Decisive Zone.
Yes, it's a special
for Lovin
package.
Dubai show.
This is this is Decisive Zone Lovin Dubai show offer 999. So tell us, what would I need to get me to start my business in terms of like document wise? Who is eligible?
Okay, so
Everyone who got a passion to start, all they have to know is what business they want to do, and all they need is their passport and a picture. We can get them set up for their business.
But basically, if you go to the office, we can do like everybody can assist you. So basically, you need to know what you want to do, what's your dream. So each in Dubai, for everything you decided to do, you need to make a license for. So the team is there to really support you and to tell you exactly what you need. So you don't need to do extra or like not have anything, because if you don't have a license in Dubai and you are working on something, you can get penalties, you have to pay fines, right? And we don't want that. So you have to come there, speak to the team and let them know what actually you are looking for, and they put everything together with the documents and all.
I really love how you said, like, what is your dream? And I think that is the thing, that dreams become realities in the city. What are the common industries, the common sectors in terms of female packages that you deal with, in terms of female entrepreneurs?
Well, my side is a lot of with jewelry, right? Because we have a group of jewelers here in Dubai, and a lot of women are like just starting. So we go to courses, we learn, but and then to sell, of course, you need to have a license. So they always come to me and they ask me, how can I get my license? I have already my collection, but how can I sell? And then I always send them to Decisive, because Decisive has everybody's expertise on this. We've been in the market since 2019. So it's very easy for them to put things together and take the stress from the beginning of the business, right? Because you're already feeling stressed with so many things. So Decisive is there to really hold your hand and make sure that we will start in a nice way.
You mentioned jewelry there, and by the way, your jewelry looks amazing.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But I believe you were actually one of the reasons, the inspiration for this female package, and you have your own brand. Tell us how that came about.
Yes, my own brand started actually, I always worked before I came to Dubai. I came with my husband, and after we opened Decisive Zone, he was working, we had kids and all this beautiful family going on. But and then after boys starts to grow up, I was like, okay, I wanted to go back to work, because I feel like how can I say, it's important for me to be busy, you know, to achieve my dreams and to be creative. It feels very like emotionally a big support for me. My family doesn't live here. My family lives in Brazil. So I need to get my head going on with something. So to have a business is amazing. I think all the women should do that. It's very healthy. It's very important.
So strong. I totally
So that's an
agree.
encouragement for housewives, and that's what we are getting a lot of inquiries nowadays. A lot of housewives, they're looking at starting an e-commerce business, which is great. They can bring products from their home country and they're selling it here online, which is the easiest thing to do.
I think for independence as well, right? It's good to feel independent. It's good to have your income. It's good to be able to help in the house as well, you know, not just sit there, be with the kids, which is a big work as well. Being a mom, being a housewife, these are all big and important works. But we need to look to ourselves as well, because before we are a mom and before we are like a wives, we are ourselves, you know. And if we put everybody before us and leave us in the back, where we stand. So it's good to bring ourselves and I always say to my kids, they are young, but they understand. If mom is not happy, I cannot be my 100% for you guys, and you guys won't be happy, right? So mommy can be happy, daddy can be happy, kids can be happy, and the whole house works very well. Yeah.
So interesting, and I believe that, you know, these are things that it doesn't need to be the big grand business plan. This can be a side hustle. Just on the rules, and I'm glad you brought up e-commerce, because I believe that that's a side hustle that a lot of people begin to start. So can I sell to a volume of 1,000 dirham without a business license, or do I need a business license to take money for a goods or service?
You need a license.
You definitely need a license, and especially that UAE is very, very regulated. You cannot even sign up with any of the marketplace unless you have a license, a VAT registration, and a corporate tax registration. So it is mandatory for everyone who's doing a business, must take a trade license, set up their business, and then go with any of the marketplace to sell their product, or even doing it from their own website.
And how long will this fee last? Is it an annual fee?
This is per month payable
12 months.
over 12 months. So when it comes to renewal, you can renew it again at the same way.
Interesting. So just to jump back, you mentioned jewelry, but also for anyone watching, any types of businesses that you see coming through the door a lot, like are there more common than others that you just see that are kind of a trend if anyone wants to be inspired now?
I think properties is a big one right now, right?
Yes, a lot of real estate agents who have been in the market for a while, now they are setting up their own. And that's where we are getting a lot of women who have been agent in the market. They realize that they have their own client base. Now they're coming to us and setting up their own business. They realize probably this is selling one property or half of it, and you can have your own license, own business, own bank account, everything set up. And you just need to sell one property a year. That covers the cost easily.
Wow.
Yes.
So if you're a property estate agent in the country, this is your tip to go and just get a license and sell yourself.
A lot of people are doing it.
Very interesting. And this does lead into golden visas. So do I need a business setup license if I have a golden visa?
Yes, golden visa is a special visa by the Dubai government. However, this is not a trade license to run a business in the country. Even if you have a golden visa, you must take a trade license if you're operating a business in UAE.
Okay. And of course, we have to ask, because the questions come in daily, weekly, the tips for getting golden visas. People watching right now, how can they get one?
Right. Let me again explain the 4 different type of golden visas or how you become eligible for golden visa. The first starts with a property. If you have a property worth of 2 million or above, you still do not need to pay the whole amount to be eligible. However, even if you pay 20%, you become eligible for golden visa. Second one is for high skill labors, engineers, doctors. You got a certificate from any recognized university, you get a golden visa. If you've got a third one, which is the most demanding today, if you've got a salary of 30,000 or above, you have got the certificates and proof that bank statement for last 6 months, you're eligible for golden visa.
Well, the question that a lot of people have asked is that 30,000 used to mean you also need to work at a sea level. Is that still the case?
It's not mandatory. Now, a lot of international companies pay more than 30,000, which is almost $8,000 for even the managerial level. So for that as well, you become eligible for golden visa.
And why should we want one? You know, I feel like when they were first announced, it was gold dust. And now a lot of people seem to be able to access them. But actually, what are the benefits?
I think the biggest benefit of golden visa is that you can bring your entire family on your visa. And who doesn't want to move to Dubai, right? For the safety, for the lifestyle. I think decisive that we do, like we open the door for the family to come, you know?
Yeah.
That's the goal of our company, is to make people live their dream, you know?
Live
They
the Dubai
come
dream,
here
that's
and
what
live
it
the
is.
Dubai dream, yeah. So the golden visa, for me, family is everything, right? So to be able to bring your entire family on your visa is something that is amazing. But there is also another benefit
Yes,
as
so
well.
that's the first benefit, which is the most important. You can sponsor your own family. Like,
Is that kids, just sorry to interrupt you, so is that kids at any age and parents? Or
yes,
where
up
does
to
it end?
18,
Up to 18.
above 18 as well. Sorry, I think it's 18 or 21, and I want to be sure, and I will get back to you on this next week again. However, yes, you can sponsor your kid as long as they are not married, that's for sure. Okay. That's the first. Then you can sponsor your parents. You can have your own maids, nanny, and drivers sponsored by yourself. You do not need to have a company, or you do not need a Emirati to sponsor on your behalf anymore. So that's the first benefit. Second benefit, I would say, is you can live outside of UAE more than 6 months. Your visa do not get cancelled or expired. The third one, you can apply for some special loyalty cards, wherein including supermarkets, you get up to 25% discount, which is huge. On your daily expense, you manage to save a lot.
Huge.
You do get discounts on school fees, you do get discounts on
Health insurance as well, right?
Yes, you do get on insurance as well. You get special benefits and discounts.
Interesting. So no longer to be tied to an employer, and it's all thanks to Decisive Zone for making it easier. Can we just do a quick recap of the offers that you're just dropping today for Lovin Dubai audiences, the watchers and the listeners?
Right, I will go this time.
You go.
Okay. Anyone who is already living in Dubai and has got a visa, a housewife or an employee from any other company, they can just take a trade license, which we have come up with a package of pay only 500 dirhams, which is the lowest in the market per month, and you can start your business today. Now, if you are not a resident and you would like to get your residence visa as well, we have come up with a package of 999 dirham per month over a period of a year, and you get your trade license, your visa, your Emirates ID, your medical, your change of status, everything done.
Huge. And what is the best way that people can get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to our website, decisivezone.ae. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 05535 05535.
Or send us an email as well at hello@decisive.ae.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Juliana, the co-founder of Decisive Zone. Amazing. Mr. Golden Visa back in the hot seat again. That brings us to the end of the show. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thank you both.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.